Good morning, South Rock, and welcome to week 21 of the Story Devotions. This is all about the rebuilding of the walls of Jerusalem, particularly in Nehemiah, is where we're going to talk about where we're going to be mostly this morning. And it's really interesting what's happening here. So they want to rebuild the walls, and they even have the government's permission to rebuild the walls of Jerusalem, yet the enemies of the Israelites, the surrounding nations, all these people are very against it. And you see Sanballat is one of the main enemies, and he hears that about the rebuilding of the wall, and he became angry and was greatly incensed and ridiculed them for it. And then Tobiah the Ammonite, he even says, "What are they building? Even a fox climbing up on this would destroy it." And so they're just constantly being belittled for what they're doing. They're under constant threat of attack. At one point, there's just too much equipment and rubble being surrounding them as they get halfway up the wall, and they're not sure if they can keep going and keep working. And then half the people have to start defending the workers, and they switch on and off, and it becomes a tedious and tiresome task. But they do it. They keep going because they believe that this is the work that God has inspired them to do. They believe this is God's work and that they have been called to it. And so they continue and continue until they finally complete the buildings of the wall. And it says in the end, the wall was completed on the 25th of Elul in 52 days. When all of our enemies heard about this, they lost their confidence because they knew that this was done with the help of our God. And that's just so important. It's so good to remember this. There can be times of discouragement. There can be times of fear. The enemy can be in our face or it can be quiet behind our back. But no matter what, we need to continue to do the work. The work specifically that we feel called to, the work that specifically benefits the kingdom, benefits what God has called us into, whether the enemy is, again, right in our face or behind our back. We need to keep going, because when we complete the work, or as the work gains success and gains traction, the enemy will see and fear, because they know that it's because of what God is doing in our lives. And so that's really the challenge for the week, and the question of the week is, what is the work that you need to continue to do? Maybe you've taken a break because of COVID and you haven't volunteered as much at the church. And you're like, maybe it's time to get back into that. Maybe you took a break from witnessing to people, or maybe you're just tired and you just don't want to do it anymore. Or maybe, I don't know, there's all sorts of situations where we take a step back, or we are afraid, or we're nervous about what we're doing. I want to encourage you, as Nehemiah encouraged his workers and his people, find people to defend you, but keep doing the work. Keep working at it and doing what God has called you to. So that's all I have this week. We'll see you next time.